We're with Mollee Lasto, one of the seniors on the Eastern Connecticut women's swim team. Eastern Connecticut in their preseason right now, getting ready for their season opener, which will come later at the end of October. Mollee, you guys have been going for a couple of weeks so far. Talk about how the preseason has gone.
Yeah, so we've been in the pool for a few weeks now, and the first week and a half we really got in, worked on our technique, got everyone used to the water. Some of our girls, haven't swam over the summer, so getting our rhythm down and feeling good in the water is really important before we start adding yardage, which now we're going to get into. We'll start increasing our yards, getting more endurance, working on stroke-specific things that we'll start to do, heading into our first meet, which is important.
You guys start your preseason in the beginning of October. What do the swimmers go through in the summer to get ready for the year, or do they not?
So every year we try to really encourage every athlete on our team to really get in the water and continue to swim and continue to work out in the gym, because it's really important to keep your body conditioned, especially in swimming because it is an endurance sport. So it's hard if you don't have a team to go to after the college season is over, but even just a few days a week in the pool, try to get in, loosen up, get your rhythm down is really important. And if you can't, try to run, get conditioned that way, work out in the gym. So it's really important that everyone does get in, but it's hard to find pool time and pool space if you don't have a team to go to.
How long does it take to start feeling back up to speed once the preseason starts?
Yeah, so even for me and my sisters, because we did some over the summer, you're never going to get that intensity that you have with a coach on your team with your teammates. So for us, I'd say like 2 weeks probably for us to get back in, but if you haven't swum over the summer, maybe 3-4 weeks to get used to the rhythm, get used to the feel of the water, the endurance, the breathing. A few weeks, so yeah, it's a lot. It's a big adjustment getting back in after a break.
Isn't it so difficult? Number one, the length of your season is the longest season. It's even longer than a basketball season. But is it difficult in the fact that you come in, you start to practice, you start your meets, then you have Thanksgiving break, and then you have winter break, and then you're trying to taper towards February? Is it sort of like an up and down kind of thing?
Yeah, it's tough because we're not all together during those breaks either.
Yeah.
So it's important for us as athletes to on our own find time. So that time especially is really important. The summertime not as much, but during those breaks that break up our season is really, really huge that we get in and swim. And coach normally will give us like a yardage base that we should stay around. So it's important for us to know how many yards we should be doing a day over breaks. So very important.
When you say break, you mean like over Thanksgiving or
Thanksgiving,
whatever
Christmas,
the break
before our
is?
training trip. Yeah. So November and December.
Well, you guys have the Little East meet, and then you have the New England meet. Can you prepare for both those meets at the same level of intensity?
So normally in swimming, your end goal is one meet. So we have our the CT Cup, which we have at Wesleyan, is like a good middle point to see where you're at.
I see.
I think for people who coach knows is going to go to New England and that's going to be their final meet, that's kind of like a rehearsal for New England's. Like it's a rehearsal of your stroke that you're going to swim and how to race and work on your turns and work on all that stuff. So I think we don't normally taper for the CT Cup, but we will taper for New England's, which is our last meet. So it's kind of different, but the mentality and the intensity of the meet is kind of similar. So it's good to have that before we have New England's.
But you don't taper for the Little East?
Not too much, no. We'll have like a mini taper kind of that the coach does just to get us rested a few days before so we're fresh. But New England's is a much longer, a couple-week process where we're really resting and getting ready for the 4-day weekend.
Well, you came in, you're a senior this year, 3 seniors on the team, you, Jessica Bealfield, and Autumn Sutton. You came in with eight freshmen, and now 3 of them survived, for lack of a better word, survived to be seniors in the program. Does that sort of tell you how difficult it is to get through 4 years of swimming?
Yeah, absolutely. Swimming is a huge commitment. It's a huge dedication. It's a lot. We're swimming twice a day, the second half of our season, and we have lifting in between, and you have classes to go to, and your body's sore, and you need to mentally say, okay, I have to get back in the water in 12 hours after we just swam at night. It's a lot. It's a lot.
You got to be incredibly mentally disciplined, correct?
Yeah, swimming is definitely 50-50. Definitely,
Yeah.
50% mental and 50% physical. gotta want to do it to do it.
Well, you, in your career, in the three previous seasons, you've really tapered and you've really peaked towards the end of the season, breaking your records, your backstroke records in the New England meet. Did you think coming out of high school that you could have possibly swam at a higher level where you might have gotten a scholarship?
Yeah, so looking at schools at the end of my senior year, I always wanted to swim Division I. That was my goal since I was little. And I think I could have done it if I decided to go that path, but I had my 2 surgeries in high school, and Division I swimming is even bigger of a commitment, if you can even imagine that. They own you basically, so that's your job. And for me, swimming is my entire life. It's the thing I love the most. I always want to keep loving it. So for me, Division III was the perfect place for me to continue to swim and love what I do and not get hurt. Whereas Division I, there was always that chance where, the amount of swimming and repetition and, could have hurt me. So that wasn't.
Could have hurt you physically.
Yeah, I could have gotten hurt, needed another surgery. So to me, that wasn't worth it.
And the other thing people don't realize in high school, a lot of people want to go Division I, want to get a scholarship. You can understand that, but they don't realize that once you go to a Division I school and you're on scholarship and they own you, a lot of times the fun is gone.
Yeah, and I think that happens to a lot of swimmers who decide to go Division I.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends, that's actually happened to, where they think they want to, because in high school and college swimming, that's basically it. There's nothing else for you to do after college.
Yeah.
So you want to peak in college, you want to swim that Division I and, end on that super high note. But you always have to think, I swim because I love it and I want to continue to love it. And sometimes Division I just gets too much and you don't love it anymore and you can't do it because it's just too taxing on your body and mind.
How can you love something that's so painful?
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, it's just...
I know, a lot of people ask me that. I
Yeah.
think for me, swimming has just changed my life. It teaches you dedication and work ethic, and even in a set, you don't think you can do it, and then you finish it, and you just get this wave of accomplishment, and you're so proud, and you think, okay, I can do anything now, because you push yourself every day in the pool, beyond your limits. So do that in anything in your life.
I would have to guess that if you get through 4 years of college swimming, that to that point in your life might be the biggest accomplishment in your life.
Yeah, I think so.
In addition to graduating.
Yeah, especially if you had goals that you
Yeah.
wanted to accomplish and you got those done, or if you just wanted to improve something, swimming gives you that chance to just improve something little or something big. So you always have that proud moment, I think, especially in meets or whatever. So.
Well, you hold all the backstroke records right now. What can you actually look at as a goal for your final year since you have your 3 backstroke records already?
Yeah, so coming in as a freshman, I didn't really know what to expect because I was coming off my injury. So the first year was kind of just like a trial to see what I did, and I ended up breaking all 3, which was a very humbling experience. I wasn't really expecting it, so that was really exciting. And then after that moment, I said, okay, I'm going to break my records every single year. So that was my goal freshman year. And sophomore year, I kind of got sick. I had my heart issue, and unfortunately, I didn't break any of them. And then last year, I did. So, and now I think my goal this year is I want to be under a minute in the 100 back. And I think since I was 13 years old, before my surgeries, that was always my goal. 'Cause getting under a minute in the 100 back is huge.
Yeah.
That's a monumental thing for any swimmer to want to get to, and that's been my goal forever. So if I can do that this year and break the other 2, that would be amazing. A good way to end my last year.
And the other special thing about this year is that you'll be swimming for the second year with your sisters who are twins, Maggie and Mollee Lasto. What's that been like to have them on the same team with you?
Yeah, even talking about it just makes me smile. Yeah, it's the best. I remember in high school, we thought it was a big deal to just be on the same team and be on the same relay team at Opens and stuff. And coming into college, I always thought we would swim together forever, but they got some Division I offers and full scholarships, and they're really good. I'm super proud of all that they've accomplished, and I thought, they deserve to go Division I and get to that top level and swim. But in the back of my head, I always wanted them secretly to come swim with me, and they chose to, and I couldn't be happier with the way we're swimming together and training. And I think we've all improved tremendously here at Eastern, and I think even when I'm gone, they're going to continue to improve, and I'm really excited to see where they go.
From the outside looking in, it looks like the three of you have very, very similar personalities and dispositions.
Yeah.
Would that be accurate?
And I think that's through swimming.
Yeah.
We've learned, commitment and dedication and time management and work ethic, and we all support each other. We're all there. We know, we have to go to class, and then swimming's our next thing we need to do. So we have our priorities pretty much the same, I think.
And you get a lot of support from your family. Has your
Yeah.
mother made every meet, home
Everyone.
and away, or?
Yep, my grandparents come, my aunt comes, my other grandparents come to some when they're not away, but yeah, they've been huge supporters of our swimming ever since we were 5 when we joined AREC, which was our first meet. So yeah, they've been in the swimming world a long time too.
No,
They get it.
I know your mother didn't want to be involved, just as you didn't. You didn't want to be involved in your sister's decision, really, as to where they're going to go to school.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, your mother had to be thrilled to death. That way, she's not going to 3 different schools.
Yep, she
They're in
said
the-
that when we all decided. She said she can come watch all of us swim now, which for her is even humbling too, to be able to see us all compete at the college level.
Talk about you being proud of your sisters, but how about your mother with coming and watching her 3 daughters?
Yeah, she
You know?
loves it. She loves being a swim mom. She tries not to get too much involved in knowing our times and like telling us what to do. But yeah, she just loves watching us all on the deck together, swimming next to each other. And that's why she comes every time, just to be able to experience the whole atmosphere that swimming provides to everyone. It's fun. So meets are long, they're boring, but when you get that like high intense meet where it's really close, there's nothing better. It's really exciting.
So with you graduating this year, your mother will still have 2 more years
Yeah.
with her
Yeah,
daughters.
she's
But
not done
what's
yet.
she gonna do after that?
I know, she's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
She'll have to go watch some AMD meets or something,
Yeah.
just to stay around the chlorine. But yeah, it's gonna be sad for everyone, I think.
I think your best bet is just to focus on this year and enjoy this
Exactly,
year, right?
Yeah, this
And-
year's gonna be a lot of fun.
And you're graduating with a degree in your pre-physical therapy.
Yes.
And you talked about self-discipline. Talk about how difficult that is with that major in swimming for 4 years.
Yeah, so when I first decided I wanted to do physical therapy, swimming, a lot of people told me swimming wasn't gonna be possible, that it's just too much to be able to do, and I wanted to prove everybody wrong. But they were right. It is a lot. It's something that everyone should definitely think about. You need to understand that like this is going to be your life. You're going to go to class, you're going to do your work, then you have practice. You're going to need to sleep in between at some
A
point.
little bit.
But definitely time management, and you need to be super focused and have your priorities straight. And it's possible, but it's a lot of work for sure.
We'll talk about this, and we talked about it off camera, and it was really interesting, the fact that how you felt that you wanted to get into physical therapy. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so freshman year, that was always like in the back of my head. Someone mentioned it to me, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I had my first surgery and my second one a year after, and the doctors told me that swimming probably wasn't going to be possible for me anymore, and that really hit me hard. And I worked with my therapist. I went to therapy for 8 months between my two arms. And I got back, I got in the water, I was able to swim, and I'm doing best times now. And for me, I just realized that, they're the ones who are your support system when you're going through a tough time, trying to get you back to a goal that you want and trying to get you back to doing what you love. And for me, that was just something that I realized that I want to give back to other people, and I want to help other people get back to the things they want to do. And I think it's a great profession. I think the whole body part of it, like the physiology and the anatomy, is really interesting. But even just working one-on-one with a patient and getting to know them and realizing what their goal is and helping them achieve it is huge and something I want to do for the rest of my life.
It'll be a very rewarding career.
Yeah, for sure.
So Eastern Connecticut opens up on Friday, October 26th. We'll be at the St. Joseph Blue Jay Pentathlon. That'll be a 5 o'clock start. Mollee, thanks for being here. Good luck this year.
Thank you for having me.